Certainly you and I can probably think about all the times it was so much better before the pandemic, and you're probably groveling a bit because you want to return to those good old times. But if you think about it, do a little bit of research, you're going to find out that the pandemic has some really pleasant benefits to it and what it's done to surprisingly improve things in the world. I've done some research and we're going to talk about that right now on the Sultan of Small Talk. Just to be clear, I did experience coronavirus myself way back before it was cool, back in March of 2020. My wife had the wherewithal to realize the symptoms early on, and she isolated me in the West Wing, as we call it. And I didn't go ahead and get out for 22 days. It was like confinement. I can tell you this, it was awful, but there were some serious benefits to this pandemic. And once we realized some of them, we can start to explore other ways that we can improve the world. So let's talk about some of the things that have come up as happenstance as a result of us all being in lockdown. One really important thing that I've realized is the carbon emissions have gone way down. We're talking 17% down, maybe even 19% they're saying in some studies, because when you think about it, we're not traveling, we're not getting on planes anymore, we're not getting in cars very much anymore. And as a result of all of that, because we're not being as communal, the fact is we're going to save this planet. In fact, there's been a lot of benefit to just staying indoors, and all of that smog and all of that carbon monoxide is just not occurring in the world anymore. More to the point, the Energy Coalition has said that 9.3 million barrels of oil is less needed every day as a result of all of this. What? That's a lot. How about this? Crime is way down. That's what I'm talking about. Think about it. My mom used to say nothing good happens after 2 in the morning. Well, when people aren't even out on the streets, not even at 2 in the afternoon, crime, street crime, and organized crime all down. Homicides down more than it has been in probably a decade. This is tremendous. Here's an ancillary benefit I thought about. Increased punctuality. Think about it. People can't be late anymore. Well, if everyone's got a Zoom meeting that starts at 10 in the morning and your commute is pretty much nothing, you just have to go from here to there, it's hard to go ahead and say you got traffic problems. What has to also increase is your creativity to come up with better excuses for why you're late for a Zoom meeting. I know that everyone joked about initially the amount of paper consumption, toilet paper more specifically, but when you think about it, besides the hoarding of toilet paper, paper in general consumption is way down because we're not in offices anymore and so many people are telecommuting. So it turns out Adobe Acrobat has mentioned that 50% more people are using electronic filing as opposed to printing things out. As a result, there are so many more trees that are not being wiped out. Here's something that's definitely improved. Family involvement. People who have said that their parents don't see them very much because they're too busy working. Well, that happens in my life. I think my kids have seen me way too much in the last year. I don't think they like me as much as they used to like me when I worked so often. But that's an ancillary benefit as well. No, delete. Mom says delete. Okay. I think we're realizing that we're having a true aversion to unnecessary meetings. Some of these long-winded meetings that we're used to in the workplace, the ones that really didn't accomplish anything, just kind of cut a lot of our time out of the day, we are not nearly as tolerant. And I think that's great. I think we just get on meetings that are important and we cut to the chase, and I think that is going to be something that's going to last a lot longer, well beyond the pandemic. We're definitely looking inward and taking care of ourselves. We're nurturing ourselves like we never did before. For example, even though gyms have been closing, we're still interested in staying healthy and finding alternatives, like getting out and walking more often. And many of us are learning to cook and cooking more healthy meals than we had before, and maybe drinking a little less and focusing on getting that walk in every day. I know that's important for many of us, and it's going to last well beyond the pandemic. Studies show that more people are on electric scooters than ever before. So not only is gas and oil down, it also means that people are scooting around, and nobody has ever died on an electric scooter. So that's good. Neighbors we haven't known for years are coming out of the woodwork. And now we're all of a sudden very neighborly, which is great. Like, we're inviting people to pub crawls that are virtual and Zoom calls that are virtual, and getting to know people who are in our neighborhood like we've never done before. I love that. We just gotta move to a better neighborhood. No? Come on. I'm just kidding. Naturally, there are so many more ways it feels like that we can become social. And some of those examples include Netflix parties and Zoom calls and online pub quizzes and virtual sing-alongs with friends. I've noticed that strangers are helping other people out by supporting one another. We're helping people get their medicines and their groceries when they can't do it themselves. And I think all of these are great benefits that I would have never predicted before this thing happened. If you're liking any of this stuff, I need you to like that button. Wait. Try that again. You don't like the button. People are definitely getting much more creative in this environment. Now, initially, the drive-by birthday parties were a definite example of that. And people are doing other things that they can show their creativity and express themselves. Like, for example, people are home all the time, so they are more apt now to do some clever decorating in terms of interior design. They're doing many more things outdoors, so they're decorating outside as well as improving their outdoor spaces and landscaping. What else are people doing, baby? I'm gonna fix this part anyway.
Plastic bag hugs.
My wife tells me that there are people who are hugging other people with plastic bags. Apparently it's like a full-size condom hug.
Nope.
Is that gonna work?
Nope.
Creativity, gotta love it. Dating is definitely weird. That's what all of my single friends are saying. It's like the weirdest way to date when you have to do it this way. I would imagine that unwanted pregnancy must be down. If you're liking any of this, I need you to smash that button, the like button. One of the best things that have happened is in terms of family. We are spending so much more time and getting back to a simple life, a time where you can just focus on the people that are closest to you in your inner circle. Now we've got more time to spend eating dinner together. We've got more time that we can play Legos, or we can play puzzles and really get to know that other person without being distracted by so much of the work, so much of the commuting, and also so much of the distractions with electronics. I think there are so many benefits that we've discovered here. I think we should all just continue to do the right thing, get the vaccinations, stay well, stay healthy, and keep remembering that there are good things ahead.